Hi, and welcome to One Verse, explain the Bible one verse at a time. Back at the whiteboard again to explain another verse, and this one's going to be Philippians chapter 1, verses 9 and 10. And it says, "And this is my prayer, that your love may abound more and more in knowledge and depth of insight, so that you may be able to discern what is best, and may be pure and blameless for the day of Christ." Now, I think this verse that Paul is writing here to the Philippian church has a lot for us today in our society. And I truly believe the Bible is relevant. It was relevant then and it's relevant now. So we're going to look at what was Paul's prayer for that Philippian church and how can his prayer inform our prayers and inform our life. All right, so we're going to look at this verse. And it starts off with, "This is my prayer," right? So this is Paul speaking. So this is my prayer for who? The prayer for the Philippian church. That your love may abound more and more. So what's interesting here is that when Paul prays for them, he's praying for their love. He's focused in on their love. And he knows that their love can abound and grow more and more. Now, this is something that's interesting. I know that if you have a spouse or if you're dating someone, if you have a friend, or I know that we think of our love can grow because it can grow and develop. But how often do we think beyond that? Not the love of our society that's romanticized and that's usually love that's associated with lust or love that's really fickle, but a love that is strong, a love that is concrete, a love that loves your enemies, a love that took Christ to the cross. A love that is strong and foundational. A love that is action-based. And this is what Paul is saying. He's saying, your love can abound more and more. It's like, have you ever done like a love index, right? Like, am I loving other people more? How is my love towards other people? And this is what Paul is saying. I want your love to abound more and more in knowledge and depth of insight. So what this is interesting is that love can be informed, right? We can inform our love. You know, love isn't something that's just static, but love grows in knowledge and depth of insight. We can develop and grow our love. The more we just dig into the scriptures, the more we understand Christ's love for us, the more we understand what took him to the cross. What kind of love is that? As we grow in this knowledge and depth of insight, as we develop our love for other people, right? Because I think this is what we need in our society today. There's so many people who are across the aisle, who don't think like us, who don't vote like us, people that we may disagree with, or even our friends and family. You know, if we have a love that's informed, a love that is in knowledge, depth of insight, our first thought when we walk into a room is, how can I love them? How can I love them? And what that means, it means that so that we're able to discern what is best. We're able to discern what is best. You know, Jesus broke down God's commands into two: loving your neighbor and loving the Lord God Almighty with all your heart, mind, and soul. So loving the Lord first and then loving your neighbor as well, right? So that when we walk into a room, our first thought is, how can I love them? I don't care what they said. I don't care about the vote. I don't care about all these things. How can I love them? And you're able to discern what is best if your first thought is love. You're able to discern what is best so that all your knowledge and depth of insight of a love that is growing and flourishing, so that we may be pure and blameless. When you have a love that is growing and developing, when you have a love that is not static, but you're taking, you're rightfully taking like inventory of your love, you grow in purity and blamelessness. Of course, you're not perfect, but you're continuing to mature and develop. With this insight, the day of Christ is always in sight. The day of Christ is always in the background. It's always there, so that our love and what we do is not in vain. We know one day we will see Christ. We know one day Christ will appear in the heavens when he returns again. So what we do in our love is not in vain. When you inform your love and you grow your love, and your love is not short-sighted, your love doesn't just go to here, but your love reaches out to everyone. You know, Jesus said when wickedness grows, love grows cold. He said that in Matthew chapter 24, verse 12. When wickedness grows, love grows cold. But we as Christians have the responsibility to have a love that is not cold, but that is warm and welcoming towards everyone. I pray and I hope that this verse and this video was a strength and encouragement for your faith.